Only కోసం ఏమైనా no, it's indeed a real honor and pleasure. I think right from his childhood till the time he retired, and even now he continues to inspire everyone. We know that he's the mentor of Sunrisers Hyderabad, so he's still contributing to the great game of cricket. And I'm really honored to have played alongside him, against him, and just to have known him as a person, because we all know that Murali is probably one of the greatest cricketer to have graced the game and played the game. But for me, he's one of the most humble, modest, and a true role model for any youngster to emulate. So he's an outstanding person, one of the most genuine and warm-hearted persons you could ever meet. So that for me is what Murali is all about. And I think for me, he's a dear friend. He's more like a brother, and he's got a wonderful family, excellent family in the form of Mati, his wife, and then two wonderful children. And the way they have been brought up also is very exemplary. So really lucky to have a friend like Murali.
సార్ ఇప్పుడే కాదు ఈ జర్నీ అంటే ఎస్ఆర్హెచ్కి మీరిద్దరు మీరు మెంటర్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు బౌలింగ్ కోచ్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే కాదు, మీరు రిటైర్ అయినప్పుడు కూడా హీ వాజ్ వెరీ ఎమోషనల్. సో ఐ రెడ్ అన్ ఆర్టికల్ వేర్ మురళీ సార్ సేస్ లక్ష్మణ్ గారు ఈజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద గ్రేటెస్ట్ బ్యాటర్స్ అగెయిన్స్ట్ స్పిన్. అక్కడ షేన్ వాన్ ఉండనివ్వండి, లేకపోతే నేను ఉండనివ్వండి, ఎవరున్నా కానీ ఆయన కళ్ళల్లో భయం కనిపించేది కాదు. అండ్ హీ పిక్స్ దూసరా వెరీ వెల్ అని చెప్పి ఆయన ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ కూడా ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఇంత తొందరగా ఎందుకు రిటైర్ అయ్యారు అని కూడా ఆయన అప్పట్లో మాట్లాడడం కూడా జరిగింది. సార్, ఫ్యూ వర్డ్స్ అబౌట్ లక్ష్మణ్ గారు ప్లీజ్. సార్, సిన్స్ యూ బోత్ హ్యావ్ ట్రావెల్డ్ టుగెదర్, యూ హ్యాడ్ అ లాంగ్ జర్నీ, be it from 90s or 2000s that you've played or made for SRH. So can you please tell us one secret that we all don't know about Laxman Garu? Any one secret? This is the perfect stage, I think. You have to reveal something about him.
See, secret means he has set up how to day in day out, because he makes sure that, see, one thing about, good thing about is he wouldn't be even for a function or anything, he will be on the time. Before 5 minutes he will come. That is his speciality, because time is important. See, you can't keep waiting. So that discipline, that thing, not many people has. So that's what amazed me. Whatever, even for dinner, if I say let's go for 7:30, he will be 5 minutes earlier. So like that. So that is the secret is good about him.
Okay, that's a good secret then. So Laxman garu, meeremayina secret cheppalanukuntunnara Muralidaran garu gurinchi మీ లాంగ్ జర్నీలో? సార్, మీరేమైనా మంచి సీక్రెట్ చెప్పండి సార్.
సీక్రెట్ అని కాదు, కానీ ఈ జస్ట్ మెన్షన్ మేము వి ప్లేడ్ ఎట్ లంకషైర్. సో టిల్ దట్ టైమ్ ఇట్ వాజ్ ఆల్వేస్ ప్లేయింగ్ అగేన్స్ట్ Murali, and you know that what a terrific bowler he is, and his strike rate in all the formats of the game is just unbelievable. So the first match we were playing, I think it was against Hampshire. Ken was when you tore the bicep tendon. It was against Hampshire. Again, Shane Warne was the captain of Hampshire, and both of us were playing for Lancashire. He bowled 4 or 5 overs. He didn't get a wicket, and after that, at the end of every over, he was coming to me. I was standing in slips. He would come to me and say, "What do you think I'm doing wrong? Why am I not getting a wicket?" I'm saying, "Murali, you got so many wickets already in your career. You've just bowled 5 overs." So for me, that actually showed me how much he cared for the team, irrespective of whether he is playing for Sri Lanka, whether he is playing for Lancashire. He, as a true professional, wanted to always take wickets and win the match. That was the intensity with which he played. As a opposition player, you wouldn't know that mindset. But when you're playing with him, you're sharing the dressing room, then you understand that what a terrific professional he is and terrific match winner he is. And then we had great time in the Lancashire dressing room. There was Dominic Cork, former England fast bowler, and Dominic Cork and Murali, my God, they used to entertain us in the dressing room. The dressing room was lively. Murali, unfortunately, after 3 or 4 games, the game he was talking about, he played against Kent, and that's where he tore his bicep tendon, and he left, and that was the end of his season. And suddenly the dressing room was so quiet without Murali. So Murali, wherever he is, he's an entertainer. We all call Mike Hussey as Mr. Cricket, but I think that he is Mr. Cricket, because he knows about each and every match across the globe, what's happening, even a domestic player in Sri Lanka or India, he knows the performances of that player. He follows each and every match, and he's non-stop. It's almost like he eats, breathes, and thinks about the game. Nothing else but about the game. So he's Mr. Cricket for me.
So Lakshman garu, have you taught him any Telugu? Because you both travel together for SRH.
There is no need for me to teach him. He's so talented, and he's got a lot of friends in Hyderabad. A lot of Telugu friends, and I'm sure he knows each and every language in India, because amongst the opposition players, and there are some Sri Lankan players who are very, very close to us, but Murali will be the first one at the end of the match. However tough, as he mentioned, on the cricket field, it was going to be intense battle. It used to be tough, competitive cricket. But once the match is over, he would be the first one who would come and share a joke with us, and have a laugh with us. So he's got so many friends across the globe, and probably one of the most popular cricketers to have played the game.
Okay, all right. So Lakshman garu, ఇంతకుముందు ఆదిత్య 369 గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాం కాబట్టి, if you could time travel back to 90s and give your younger self one piece of advice about cricket in life or in general, what would it be?
What advice I gave to myself, and also what my parents or my coaches gave to me. Cricket is a great game, and it actually builds your character and your personality. So I think it's important to enjoy and have fun playing the game. ఇవాళ రేపు చాలా ప్రెషర్ తీసుకుంటారు పిల్లలు. మోర్ దెన్ పిల్లలు, యాక్చువల్లీ పేరెంట్స్ put a lot of pressure on their kids, because of the opportunities now which is available as a career path for a aspiring cricketer. But ultimately, never ever forget to have fun, because I think it's a great game, and it will only give you rewards when you have fun playing the game.
అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. అండ్ ఇక్కడ కొంతమంది పేరెంట్స్ కూడా వచ్చారు, వాళ్ళ పిల్లలు క్రికెటర్స్ అని కూడా ఇంతకుముందు మాట్లాడుతూ ఉన్నాం కాబట్టి ఇట్స్ అ పీస్ ఆఫ్ అడ్వైస్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us. And one last question, in the context of Muralidharan's remarkable career, what do you think his legacy means for the sport of cricket, especially in Sri Lanka?
For the sport of cricket, there's no doubt that for me, he's the best spinner to have played the game. Yes, obviously, he and Shane Warne were the best during my generation, but the consistency with which he won the matches series for Sri Lanka, not only in Sri Lanka or the subcontinent, but wherever he went, whether it's in England, wherever he went, I think he's left a legacy. But more than a cricketer, I think the legacy which Murali has left and is still continuing to do is the amount of work he's doing in Sri Lanka through his foundation, which is known as Foundation of Goodness. And we saw the visuals, where tsunami came. And it's not only about tsunami. We know that Sri Lanka went through a lot of turbulent phase, in probably 80s, 90s, and 2000s also. But Murali and his foundation have done an unbelievable job helping the needy in Sri Lanka, and they continue to do that. He and his good friend, they run the foundation in a very professional manner, and that's the legacy which Murali will leave behind. Because as he just mentioned, cricket is part of our journey, part of our life, but the shelf life of a cricketer is very less. But what you do beyond the game is very critical, and that's what Murali has done and is continuing to do. I think, I wish the entire crew, and Madhur has done a fabulous job, and I was just mentioning to him that he looks so natural, and it's always difficult, to portray someone who has been the legend of the sport, but I think he's done a lot of hard work. He was mentioning about after the shoot also, he used to practice, go and work on his bowling. So I think a lot of hard work has been put in by each and every member of this movie. So I wish them all the success, and as Murali just mentioned, it's not only about the game, it's about his life. And his life has seen a lot of challenges, because talking to his father once, and talking to some of his teammates, and we know the kind of childhood he had. He actually stayed in a hostel. He didn't stay with his parents while growing up. So those experiences, I'm sure, is going to be portrayed on the big screen. And I'm sure and confident that a lot of youngsters, aspiring sports person, and we got lots of them in our country who want to emulate someone like Murali, they can learn from his journey. And I wish the movie lots of success. And I'm sure that everyone will understand the hardship and the challenges Murali had to face in his life, and they will just love a lot more than what they do, because we all love Murali the person.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Requesting you both to kindly stay.